Most men think performance begins in the moment, under the sheets, in the heat of anticipation. But the truth is, it begins hours earlier in the quiet darkness before sleep, when your body decides whether tomorrow you will wake up charged with confidence or drained by stress, whether your touch will feel powerful or uncertain, whether your presence will feel grounded or tense. The nighttime oil routine is not about magic drops or instant miracles. It is about signaling to your nervous system that you are safe, relaxed, and strong, because male performance is deeply connected to circulation, hormone balance, and emotional regulation, and all three are shaped long before intimacy begins. When a man finishes his day and carries unresolved stress into bed, cortisol stays elevated, blood vessels remain slightly constricted, and the body prioritizes survival over connection, which means desire fades, stamina weakens, and the mind becomes distracted. A deliberate oil routine at night works as a bridge between the chaos of the day and the restorative state your body needs to rebuild testosterone, repair tissues, and reset sensitivity. Warm oil applied slowly to the skin activates thousands of nerve endings that communicate directly with the brain, especially through the parasympathetic system, the branch responsible for rest, digestion, and arousal readiness. This is not about rushing or performing a mechanical task. It is about creating a ritual that teaches your body to associate nighttime with recovery and power. Oils, such as cold-pressed coconut oil, almond oil, or sesame oil, have been traditionally used in various cultures because they penetrate gently into the skin and reduce friction while encouraging circulation through massage. When you warm a small amount between your palms and apply it to your chest, shoulders, thighs, and lower abdomen with slow, firm strokes, you are increasing blood flow to major muscle groups, while also calming the mind through rhythmic touch. Blood flow is not just a physical phenomenon. It is the foundation of erection quality and endurance, and circulation improves when vessels are relaxed, rather than tight from anxiety. The warmth of oil combined with steady breathing begins to lower heart rate and reduce tension in the pelvic floor, an area many men unconsciously clench during stress. Chronic pelvic tightness restricts performance and sensation, while relaxed muscles allow fuller blood expansion and stronger control. As you massage, your breathing should deepen into the belly, expanding on the inhale and softening on the exhale, because oxygenation directly impacts nitric oxide production, a molecule crucial for vascular dilation. This is where science meets ritual, because nitric oxide helps blood vessels open more efficiently, supporting firmness and responsiveness. Over time, this nightly habit conditions your nervous system to transition smoothly from alert mode to restorative mode, improving sleep quality, and deep sleep is where testosterone production peaks. Men who sleep poorly often experience decreased drive, slower recovery, and reduced confidence, not because they lack masculinity, but because their hormonal rhythm is disrupted. The oil routine becomes a cue that tells your body it is safe to release the day, and that safety is what allows hormone cycles to stabilize. Beyond the physical, there is a psychological transformation that happens when a man touches his own body with intention rather than criticism. Many men disconnect from themselves, treating their bodies as tools that must perform on demand. But intimacy thrives when a man feels embodied and present. The slow glide of oil across the skin rebuilds that connection, increasing body awareness and sensitivity without overstimulation. Sensitivity is not weakness, it is responsiveness, and responsiveness allows better control. When you are aware of subtle sensations, you can regulate pace and intensity during intimacy rather than being overwhelmed. The lower abdomen and inner thighs are areas rich in blood vessels and nerves, and gentle massage here encourages circulation without the need for aggressive stimulation. The key is patience, because the goal is not immediate arousal, but improved baseline function. Think of it as priming an engine rather than flooring the accelerator. Over several weeks, men who maintain consistent nighttime relaxation rituals often report firmer morning erections, steadier desire, and reduced performance anxiety because their body is no longer in a constant state of fight or flight. Anxiety is one of the greatest silent disruptors of performance, creating a loop where fear of underperforming leads to tension, which leads to underperformance, which reinforces fear. The oil routine interrupts that loop by teaching your body what calm feels like. It also increases skin elasticity and warmth, which can subtly enhance sensation and comfort. If you choose to involve your partner in this ritual occasionally, it becomes an intimate prelude that builds anticipation without pressure. But even when practiced alone, it strengthens self-trust. Confidence in the bedroom is rarely about techniques. It is about nervous system regulation, circulation, and emotional safety. A man who sleeps deeply, breathes slowly, and maintains healthy blood flow carries a different presence into intimacy, one that feels grounded rather than urgent. The nighttime oil routine is not a shortcut to exaggerated promises. It is a disciplined act of self-care that compounds over time. Each night, you reinforce the message that your body deserves restoration, that your masculinity is rooted in balance rather than strain, and that true performance is the natural result of alignment between mind, hormones, and circulation. When this alignment becomes consistent, desire no longer feels forced, stamina becomes steadier, and your partner senses the difference in your calm focus. This is how a simple nightly practice becomes a foundation for lasting improvement, not by chasing intensity, but by cultivating recovery, awareness, and strength from the inside out. As this ritual deepens, something subtle but powerful begins to change in the way you relate to your own energy. Most men move through the day in a constant output mode, giving attention, solving problems, carrying responsibilities, and by the time night arrives, their nervous system is still braced for impact. When you introduce a consistent oil routine before bed, you are deliberately shifting from output to restoration, and that shift is what allows performance to become sustainable instead of unpredictable. The body does not separate intimacy from overall health. If your shoulders are tight, your jaw clenched, and your breathing shallow, your pelvic floor often mirrors that tension. The pelvic floor plays a crucial role in erection strength and control, and chronic tightness reduces flexibility and endurance. Slow massage around the hips, glutes, and lower abdomen with warm oil encourages these muscles to soften. When muscles soften, blood flows more freely, and when blood flows freely, response becomes stronger and more reliable. This is not about forcing anything to happen. It is about removing the barriers that prevent your body from functioning at its natural potential. There is also a hormonal rhythm that unfolds at night. Testosterone production rises during deep sleep cycles, particularly in the early morning hours. If stress keeps you hovering in light sleep or waking repeatedly, that hormonal surge is blunted. The warmth of oil on skin combined with slow breathing lowers sympathetic nervous activity and increases vagal tone, which promotes deeper sleep stages. Over time, improved sleep quality can enhance morning vitality, libido stability, and overall resilience. Men often search for external stimulants when what they truly need is deeper recovery. When recovery improves, so does confidence, because you wake up feeling restored rather than depleted. That restoration shows in your posture, in your eye contact, in the steadiness of your touch. Performance anxiety loses its grip when your body consistently feels capable. The way you apply the oil matters less than the intention behind it. Begin with your hands and forearms, feeling the texture and temperature, allowing your mind to focus on sensation rather than racing thoughts. Move to your chest and shoulders, releasing the physical weight of the day. Spend time on your thighs and calves, especially if you sit for long hours, because restricted circulation in the lower body can indirectly influence pelvic blood flow. When you reach the lower abdomen, slow down. This area houses tension that many men ignore. Gentle circular movements encourage warmth and awareness without overstimulation. The goal is to build a foundation of relaxation that supports arousal when the moment is right, not to chase immediate gratification. Paradoxically, when you stop chasing performance and start cultivating relaxation, performance improves. There is a psychological reconditioning that happens through repetition. Each night you practice calm touch. Your brain forms associations between relaxation and your own physical presence. If past experiences have created anxiety around intimacy, this routine becomes a way to rewrite those patterns. Instead of associating nighttime with pressure to perform, you associate it with safety and restoration. The brain learns through repetition, and the body follows. After several weeks, many men notice that arousal arises more naturally and lasts longer without frantic effort. Sensation becomes clearer because the mind is less cluttered. Endurance improves because muscles are not fighting against chronic tightness. Another overlooked benefit is skin health and nerve responsiveness. Healthy skin retains warmth and elasticity, and warmth enhances sensation. When circulation is optimized and tissues are nourished, sensitivity becomes balanced rather than dull or hypersensitive. Balanced sensitivity allows better pacing during intimacy, which leads to greater mutual satisfaction. This routine is not about extremes, it is about calibration. When your body is calibrated, you are less likely to feel rushed or disconnected. You can stay present with your partner, respond to subtle cues, and maintain control without suppressing pleasure. The consistency of the ritual is what compounds results. One night will not transform you, just as one workout does not build strength. But over weeks and months, the cumulative effect of improved sleep, better circulation, reduced stress, and enhanced body awareness creates a noticeable shift. You begin to trust your body again. That trust is magnetic. Partners respond to grounded confidence far more than to forced intensity. When you walk into intimacy, feeling rested, calm, and attuned to your own sensations, you bring steadiness instead of urgency. Steadiness allows desire to build gradually, and gradual build creates deeper connection. It is important to remember that this routine complements, not replaces, other pillars of health. Hydration, balanced nutrition, strength training, and emotional communication all influence performance. But the nighttime oil ritual serves as the anchor that ties everything together. It marks the transition from effort to renewal. In a world that constantly demands more output, choosing to slow down before sleep becomes a radical act of self-investment. Over time, that investment pays dividends not only in physical performance, but in emotional presence. You become less reactive, more patient, more confident in your rhythm. When a man feels connected to his own body, he no longer seeks validation through performance alone. He understands that true strength is sustainable, not explosive and fleeting. The oil routine teaches patience, and patience transforms intimacy from a test into a shared experience. Instead of worrying about how long you will last or whether you will measure up, you focus on connection and sensation. Ironically, when you shift focus away from fear and toward presence, stamina and responsiveness often improve naturally. As this practice integrates into your nightly rhythm, you may begin to notice changes beyond the bedroom. Your sleep becomes deeper, your mornings clearer, your mood steadier. Stress triggers that once heightened your body lose some of their intensity. This is because you are training your nervous system every night to return to baseline calm. A calm nervous system is the foundation of reliable arousal and endurance. It is not dramatic or flashy, but it is powerful. And yet, there is an even deeper layer to this routine that most men overlook. A layer that transforms it from simple self-care into a catalyst for long-term masculine vitality and intimate confidence. The deepest layer of this practice is not physical at all, it is identity. Many men grow up believing their worth in intimacy is measured by instant readiness, relentless stamina, and flawless control. That belief creates pressure, and pressure activates stress responses that directly undermine performance. When you commit to a nighttime oil ritual, you are quietly rejecting that pressure-driven identity and replacing it with one rooted in mastery of your own state. Mastery does not mean forcing your body to obey. It means understanding how your body works and cooperating with it. Each night you warm the oil, slow your breathing, and move your hands deliberately across your skin. You are reinforcing a new internal narrative that says, strength is built in silence, power is cultivated in recovery, and confidence grows from consistency. There is something profoundly regulating about intentional touch. Human beings are wired to respond to it. Even when self-applied, steady pressure and warmth increase oxytocin and reduce stress hormones, creating a biochemical environment that supports connection and desire. When your body feels safe, it opens. When it opens, blood vessels dilate more efficiently, nerves transmit sensation more clearly, and arousal pathways activate without resistance. You begin to notice that your body responds not because you demand it to, but because it is ready. That readiness is what transforms performance from a gamble into a grounded expectation. Over time, the ritual also refines your sensitivity to subtle signals. You become aware of when you are overly tense, when your breathing is shallow, when your mind is racing. Instead of ignoring those signals and hoping everything will work out in the moment, you address them nightly. This creates a feedback loop of self-regulation. The more regulated you are, the more consistent your performance becomes. Consistency builds trust, both in yourself and in your partner. Trust deepens intimacy far more than intensity alone ever could. When a partner senses that you are calm, present, and attuned, their own nervous system relaxes. Relaxation is contagious. Mutual relaxation allows desire to build naturally, without urgency or fear. Another dimension of this practice is discipline. Discipline in small private habits strengthens willpower in larger arenas. When you choose to invest 10 or 15 minutes each night into restoration rather than distraction, you are strengthening your capacity for delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is directly linked to endurance and control during intimacy. The same neural circuits that allow you to pause, breathe, and stay steady under stimulation are reinforced when you practice patience in your nightly routine. This is how a simple ritual begins shaping not only your body, but your behavior. As months pass, you may realize that the greatest shift is internal confidence. Confidence no longer hinges on whether tonight will go perfectly. It rests on the knowledge that you are consistently caring for your body, regulating your stress, and honoring your need for recovery. That knowledge creates quiet assurance. You enter intimate moments without desperation, because you trust your foundation. When arousal rises, you meet it with steadiness rather than panic. When stimulation intensifies, your breathing remains deep and controlled because you have practiced that state night after night. The oil itself becomes symbolic. It represents warmth, flow, and nourishment. Flow replaces rigidity. Nourishment replaces depletion. Warmth replaces tension. These qualities extend beyond physical performance into emotional intimacy. You may find yourself more open in conversations, more patient in conflict, more affectionate in daily interactions. True masculine vitality is not just about physical capability, it is about emotional steadiness and presence. When your body feels supported, your mind becomes clearer. When your mind is clear, your connection deepens. It is important to approach this practice without obsession. The goal is not perfection or constant monitoring of results. The goal is rhythm. Just as the heart beats in steady cadence, your nightly ritual becomes a steady beat that anchors your well-being. Some nights you may feel more energized, other nights more tired. The ritual remains the same, a signal to your system that rest and recovery are priorities. Over time, this reliability trains your body to respond reliably in return. You may also notice a shift in how you define performance. Instead of measuring success purely by duration or intensity, you begin valuing connection, responsiveness, and shared pleasure. Because your nervous system is calmer and your circulation stronger, endurance often improves naturally, but the deeper reward is presence. Presence transforms intimacy from a performance into an experience. It allows you to feel every sensation more fully while staying grounded. It allows your partner to feel seen and met rather than rushed. In the end, the nighttime oil routine is not a secret trick or a shortcut. It is a reminder that the body thrives on care, that masculinity flourishes in balance, and that sustainable performance is the byproduct of restoration. When you honor your need to slow down, breathe deeply, and nourish your tissues each night, you are investing in tomorrow's vitality. The changes may begin subtly with better sleep and calmer mornings, then expand into steadier desire, firmer responsiveness, and greater emotional connection. Eventually, the ritual becomes less about boosting performance and more about embodying strength. True power in intimacy is not explosive or anxious. It is calm, responsive, and rooted. By committing to this nightly practice, you cultivate that rooted strength from the inside out. You transform the quiet darkness before sleep into a workshop where resilience is built, hormones are balanced, circulation is enhanced, and confidence is restored. And when the moment of intimacy arrives, you are not hoping your body will cooperate. You know it will, because you have prepared it gently and consistently. That is the real transformation, not just improved performance, but a deeper alignment between your body, your mind, and your presence, creating an intimacy that feels natural, powerful, and enduring.